Don't go to. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, let me make sure because everything it says I'm live, but I don't know. Okay. Well, apparently I am. I have no idea. Just don't want to. Says I'm live, but even if I'm not and I end the stream, I want to upload it if they let me. Okay, so last time I did a live stream, I was trying to work this equipment to see how it was going to work for me on other apps because I'm trying to stream. Sir, this is what you do. No, not right now. Okay, so relax, have a seat. I'm trying to stream, and I'm not even at a lot of subscribers, so it's not for me to really expect interaction or views. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm using this software. Because kid you not, a lot of things that I do is just me behind the machine, and as good as I could be in multitasking, it's dang near impossible. Something's gonna get dropped. So what I wanted to do was basically hit on some topics that I didn't get to the last time because I was too busy trying to figure out that. Okay, but I have a list. So, welcome. Um, okay, so what I wanted to touch on was a lot of subjects. I don't know if this mic is catching me because before the volume didn't seem so good, but I'm hoping that it do what it do. If not, it's just me and probably one other, and we'll figure it out as we go. This is just trial and error. Okay, so I want to talk on diaspora wars. Okay, of course I'm gonna touch on this because I stay on Black topics. You know, that's what I do. You know, I be in Black people business. But I just want to say I'm at a certain age. So if you dang near 50, then you have some experience in knowing, especially from history with the Great Migration and being around the whole integration of the West Indians, Africans, Asians, Indians, Europeans, everybody. Okay. And of course, it said we, as far as Black Americans, was the only ones who didn't come here voluntarily, as far as our kinfolk. So, with that being said, it's more or less what's the beef with us. It feels like, you know, when you live in near a bully and they rather fight someone who could be a friend instead of going up against that bully because they're a coward. That's what I pick up on it. It's like these people really think, especially as far as West Indian Africans, first and foremost, you look to color close to who they despise the most. So the fact that a lot of, I'm not gonna say you as everyone, but what I'm gonna say even from back in the days, and I hung around West Indians, basement parties, where you got good weed before the Anglos got to it. It feels like I definitely had interactions with them, even Africans back in the days when I was young. We knew an African family who's really close with my brothers, but it be rare few in comparison to the other ones where I'd be like, I didn't get that from the peoples I grew up with. But one thing I can say from this Jamaican that I dated briefly, well, I'm saying briefly for years, and the whole energy of what they thought of Americans, Black Americans, was unbelievable, but true. And the irony is that they came from Jamaica, right? Moved into a predominantly white neighborhood and dealt with all types of racism to the point where these mother pluckers was throwing poop in their pool. You know what I'm saying? But they never really had that beef with them to say these nasty mother pluckers is violating my quality of life. No, they want to compare themselves to these so-called Americans they never met and think they're lazy by what they was told. Even to they say, oh, they live in the hood projects and whatnot, right? Which is true when it comes down to certain things as far as NYC, as far as with the projects being majority black, but it's not black American. It could be West Indian, African, European, Asians is heavy. Okay. And then what they do, it makes not just so close to how they move with the government is that they literally place you according to like neighborhoods, and black Americans always get the bottom of the totem pole. Brownsville, Harlem, before gentrification, that type of energy, the hoods that had a high volume of crime. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is I live all over Brooklyn. And the funny thing is I lived in a Jamaican neighborhood, West Indian neighborhood. And I lived in the hood. So it's the project version of West Indian. You know what I'm saying? Where they felt like, oh, they didn't live there. But it wasn't called a project. It wasn't called New York City housing. But they need to be, because if they was, they would have had more benefits, because Owen didn't have no benches. First of all, crime was high. The elevators was definitely very the elevators was so old school that you really felt like you was not in like you was back some years, some centuries, like you wasn't up to par what was going on outside their neighborhood. And it's a lot of little nasty things they would do that, like even back in the days, that's what I'm trying to say, this whole diaspora war, whatever, how you pronounce it, it's not new to us, but what's new is how they acting like they forgot what happened. Even with the African braiders, back then, when we still get our hair braided, first of all, they was taking edges for real, for real, for real. But also, too, the smell was super strong. I'm talking about blimpy sandwiches, raw onions. That's why it's like, that's what I'm saying. Hygiene is cultural. Even West Indians, they was ripe, hot, ripe, until Black Americans was like, no, if you want to come up in here, you got to work out this smell. And then now they started smelling like frankincense and myrrh. Like they got a hint to start using something to mask whatever that was, because it was intense. You know what I'm saying? But we come from even down to threatening us with hair. We from that era of Madam C.J. Walker, Wilfred Beauty. We've been doing this, and even I've been braiding since I was like a youngin'. I knew the first girl who put box braids in my hair and did my hair for an event. She was a Black girl. She was not from the diaspora, African, West Indian. No, she's from the hood up the block. Shout out to Yvette. But what I'm trying to say is that people's picking on the wrong ones. I'm not saying everyone, but I know that temperature. I'm hit to it heavy. Even to when I look at how that N word is being used, and people say, oh, New York, let them. No, the Bronx. The Bronx. Yeah. And then it could be some other pluckers in them heavily Latino neighborhoods where it be the black dude who's sleeping with the Latina who give her a pass, or it be the low self esteem wannabe. You know, the chick that is a pick me who's just so happy to be amongst them that she don't speak up for herself. This is how it happens. It's never where it's respect, and they say that around people that they know would check them. And then the disrespect is that when I check them, because I check them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child of the Panther. I'm from the Panther era. See what I'm saying? So I don't play that. I don't play that we shall overcome whole hands because everybody ain't your friend. I come from the era of coons. Mother pluckers working against the damn assignment. So anyway, point I'm trying to make is he's distracting me, and that's why I'm about to put him out because I already got ADHD. I don't need this mother plucker throwing me off, and then I already got notes, but I don't want to repeat myself. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that despite that energy between blacks with Indians, Haitians, all of that, like we already knew the rules. They have rules with us. We have rules with them. We was like, don't eat their food. Don't let them do your hair. We just like they felt the same way about us. And it was so weird because again, they didn't have none of that smoke for the mother pluckers who really had the power to crack on them. Like I worked with them, and even I'm not just talking about black folks, West Indian, Africa. I'm talking about even down to Honduran, Venezuelan, because I did construction too. And they be like talking in Espanol behind my back and saying some real misogynistic crap. And what they don't know, forget language. I need energy all day. And I do know some, the little words that I need to, yeah, the phrases that pays. But that's what I want to say, even down to the whole Cardi. People think, OMG, Cardi, because it is really the same energy. You got to look at a person who will sleep with a black man but have disdain for a black woman. It's like, and you can tell with their kids, the things they say, the things they do. It's like it really still I still blame whoever mixed with them. And it's not in a sense of you shouldn't do free will, do what you feel, but be responsible. Stand on business. Because if anything, if there's genuinely love and respect, they would not say things that have a heavy negative presence in your history. Even when I see some people, black folks, be leaving in the comments when they see some real racial disrespectful stuff and be like, and they see a black person standing up on business, they say, oh, we're not our ancestors. And I look around like, my ancestors was really about that, but that must say you stronger than the mother pluckers you come from. Apparently so, or you don't have no respect for what they did to get you here. Because only people I can say we not our ancestors is if you're a second generation person born here. Then yeah, you wasn't a part of the fight. But if you was in this country going through what you go through, your family experienced it in some way, and you're here living, then they was warriors. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they was a coon and a coward, it's gonna be revealed because y'all share DNA. So if you say that your ancestors, oh, you're not them, you are, because you don't even know how to stand up for them and keep it, because you don't know all of them. See, we actually don't know all our ancestors, but the ones that I'm privy to know, oh, they stood on business. They let me know all day how amazing I am. You know what I'm saying? What we do, how we hear, how we're resilient, amazing, and all that. And should be treated with respect as it's not up for debate. It's not like, oh, please. It's like you could get that in return. Equal. That part. And if we really want to get technical, me saying equal is to you. Stop. Okay. Off that subject. Now I'm going to the clout. What is this really about? And that's what I'm noticing too. I touched on that a little bit. People have this sense of they're important either because of their money, their social media presence, something that they feel they got that is important to them, but it don't matter to a person that know what they eat again don't make you crap. So to sit there and jump on a bandwagon or sit there and give somebody respect of a come on, don't come around here doing all that. And I want to live. That's another reason why I want to go live because this dog do stuff like that, like taking a tooth, and then because he took like a grown man, it's gonna look like, oh, was it me? No, it wasn't me. No, because I would have stopped the stream. Anyway, but I'm really annoyed by it to the point where I see people, not just on social media, I'm talking about in real life. I've seen somebody say, oh, because I got this, you can't tell me nothing. And I was like, I didn't know. First of all, money don't buy class, respect, and dang sure don't get you close to the Most High in heaven. It's like, so a lot of times, especially when you come from a family where somebody feel like they're the first to do something, or if somebody feel, and it's not just for Black folks, I even see it in other cultures, but when somebody feel like they in the position to where they call winning, they chest poke out, and instead of being humble, it's more or less like they expect you to listen to them or feel they got more knowledge just because of whatever they got in their pocket. Mom, you don't even know how they got that in their pocket. And if they really was about something, they wouldn't power trip. They be putting you on, teaching how to fish. But as people think, oh no, on this Gilly BS, it's not enough to go around. Or oh, because you know what, I got this and you ain't got that. And it's like, who said I wanted that? Even when I look at people who got this so-called fame at the expense of looking foolish to be berated. See, even with this right here, with me coming up on this screen, I'm past the place of somebody saying something that I didn't hear before, or I can't respond to, or ignore. It's free will, you know, but the fact that I'm educated, well read, you can't just say anything and get a reaction out of me. Sometimes I react because I'm tired. I need some sleep. I'm hungry. You know, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot, I should have, you know, not skipped that meal and maybe I would have had more patience, you know. But never I feel, OMG, this person got this. And no, I sometimes look at a person like, if you're blessed, be blessed, be happy. Shut your miserable behind up trying to point the finger at somebody who you feel don't have it. Because all you're going to do is bring attention to you. Because that's a wise Jamaican once said. Bragging brings shame. He was right. Okay, next on the list, thirst trapping 101. Moose knuckles, deep prints. I'm seeing motherfuckers just pumping, just pumping, and they joint just just swinging. And sometimes I will look. I can't front because sometimes I can't help it. Just slides on my FYP on TikTok, and I'm like, okay. But what I think, even behind it, is like, why you couldn't just make your point without this? I'm not saying, like, listen, If you're single, fine. You're not gonna be single forever, and then down to that, you might have children or whoever the case might be. It just feel like you don't, even down to Trina, the rapper, not wanting to sing her lyrics because she's married now. But that's what happens when somebody thirst trap for the attraction, and now you gotta live up to that. So, like, I see it all the time, though. It's like a chick could be talking about a movie she went to see, but she's talking like this whole cheeks. Like it was a chick doing pictures with her son prom, and she's posing with her cheeks on display. I see a dude. He was doing a food review, and he made his thing jump. I was like, "What the with?" But it happened. This is what I'm saying. Then I seen, like I said, it's these new drawers that these women are wearing. Some of them, and I think they're copying off of the Anglos because since when? And that's another thing too. Even from middle school, they would talk about black people, black girls. The clothes that these middle school Anglos and we wearing, calling it sportswear, even at the gym. Holy shemangas. That if I called myself wearing, I told me I'm going to go work out, my mother and my father would have put their whole foot in my behind. First of all, no. Wait. I'm not done. I'm not done. Just have a seat. Be a good boy. What I'm trying to make is, it's the thirst trap, and then they're going to ask you what you're looking at. You moose knuckle. You D print. You headlights. You junk in the trunk. With the pants with the line going down, and then it's like some type of straps to make the butt go up. It's like, what the fudge? Leave that alone. Leave that alone. I told you, and you making me keep this. After I get up, I can't. When I end the stream, you're going right back out of here. I promise you. Okay. So yeah, I do feel like enough is enough. Even when it's like, if the cleavage, I think this chick, it's like it's all. It's not just one. It just feel like it's a plethora of them, and take that to OF. I don't. I promise you, not even a little bit. Okay. I guess nobody's on this chat because I don't see nothing. I just see a live stream for like 20-something minutes. Okay, what I'm up to. I want to get finished with this so I could definitely leave this topic alone. I know the elephant in the room when I was talking about the things I discussed, it's still this energy of divide and conquer. You know, it's like when people too scared to address what they need to, they look for a quick exit. Sometimes it is fighting someone instead of the bully, like I mentioned, or someone here just thirst trapping instead of standing on business. It's like, listen, to each his own. Is just saying, be careful out here, because I realize that the internet is forever. Okay, it's forever. Okay, last but not least, shout out to Kaya, because she definitely is the Queen's Court, Supreme Court. But from NYC, I'm going to have to represent for the Brooklyn edition. New York City, because I feel like that's a whole jurisdiction in itself. And then if it comes too much, send it to Supreme Court. Kaya handle it. Okay? So I have a robe, I have a gavel, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to get too hot for the robe. See? Look at this. Official Judge Mathis style. I even got the Judge Mathis glasses. But I'm just going to tell you for the New York edition what we're going to discuss. And it's not going to be what the problem is, but definitely what I see happening. See, I'm adding a prediction, not a judgment. You know, I'm not, as much as I have an opinion, it's a non-judgment zone. Kid you not. Everybody is going to reap what they sow, and it's not by me. Thank you kindly. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. Okay, so I have the New York. The New York one that's on this is officially. Let's see. Who's on? Number one. This is a little delayed by a week, but we're gonna see. First, Jim Jones. Jim Jones. Okay, first and foremost, I'm around that age, so I'm gonna say, even to when him beefing with Nas, talking about listening to Nas in high school, Ninja Nas was rapping in high school, so y'all was close to the same age. Stop acting like you was a youngin. Who told you you really is a youngin? Like you're not him. Like OMG, even down to the fact that you got away with the games you played, which with the women in your life. Oh well, but trust me when I say, even another thing I want to say, even into the diaspora wars, it used to be borough wars to the point where like, Brooklyn didn't mess around with a lot of them because they didn't mess with us. Brooklyn was the Black Americans out the freaking 5 boroughs. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Stop. Like, kid you not. Even back then, I'm telling you, I'm these dudes' ages. And even back then, them Harlem niggas, I used to go to Harlem Week. I've been to the Lennox Lounge. I used to F with Harlem every now and again. I just didn't go to the Apollo. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I used to go to Harlem. So, come on, you ain't gonna go. You gotta go. So what I'm trying to say is, these motherfuckers have more hair products than the girls. These motherfuckers, first of all, they couldn't deal with the energy of a Brooklyn ninja. Jim Jones got chased at the Ruckers. The Ruckers is in Harlem. Brooklyn chased them in their own hood. Come on, you out. Let's go. Let's go. I can't do this one. I cannot do this no more. You know too much. But they did. They did. So when Jim Jones come out, of course they see him on the video twerking, but that's Harlem dude energy, even though they say he's from the Bronx. But to me, Bronx and Harlem is cousins. Just like East New York and Brownsville's cousins. It's just that one cousin got more money than the other. One cousin got more swag than the other. But they cut from the same cloth. So, that's why it was that Diddy, Fat Joe, Remy Ma energy. That is very unlike Brooklyn. Very, very unlike it. That's why a lot of times when Brooklyn go out of town, they be like, oh, you from New York? We have to be specific and say, no, I'm from Brooklyn. And then sometimes we get even more specific and say our hood. Just because I don't want you getting me confused. Because usually when you hear about somebody from New York going out of town, talking with their chest, acting reckless, they're not from Brooklyn. I'm telling you. Brooklyn spread love. Everybody. Brooklyn's always in the house. Word to Ralph McDaniels. I'm not just talking about out of state. I'm talking about cross seas, everywhere. Brooklyn's in the building. We know how to act. So, again, this is why I put him on the docket here. Because even with him trying to go up against Nas, even with this dude sitting here with the unkept braids and the clingy and the blingy jewelry, and that's another thing too. All of them mother pluckers wearing them, as Tia said, them soda pop necklaces. That's nothing on no slick Rick Rakim, because these dudes were gold, and gold is more valuable than their claims. And even back in the days, That's not worth nothing. That crushed diamond, sexy red, Glorilla, that's not worth nothing. I promise you, if when it's a praise, it's garbage. They playing in your face. Like that's what they've been doing when they get around black. They think, oh, these ignorant motherfuckers don't know nothing. That's why they try to play and give us corny designer stuff when they really copying, and then they'll do this rinkety dank jewelry that's made from the scraps off the floor because they don't even think you'll get it a praise or you don't know money. You know, it's really playing on mother pluckers ignorance. Okay. And even with him being with that woman for all them years and not marrying her, and even we go through with his moms and her going back and forth, it just lets you know Jody, ill, unattractive. Okay. Who else is next? Even I can see we got the Fat Joe, Remy Ma, Papoose, ill, Remy Ma, ill. They was never considered black love to me because it felt like both of them was codependent. You know, it was like um a mediocre couple that join forces and become below mediocre, but join forces and become something bigger for what they stand for, and they never was about what they're saying for. Clarissa is collateral damage because she been fighting all her life and nobody even taught her the way as far as how to be, you know, a lady besides being a fighter, how to read a room, just the jewels so she could just be more smoother. And because it is, this is how she's looking caught up in this fugly relationship. Now, what I think, and in my little prediction, and I kind of hope that she literally blacked out. But see, what I don't want her to lose her license, but I really want her to really knock them both out because they both, it's too much. You know, Papoose, first and foremost, just the fact that you got this girl that's old enough to really, well, young enough to be your child, and you feeding her a dream of black love BS, and yeah, and still you still sprung over your bisexual wife. And that's another thing too. That's what people don't understand. A lot of these relationships is not relationship goals, marriage goals, because what they do and the freakiness of their bedroom and what they allow in and the certain things they overlook is shameful. It's shameful. Because I know for a fact, I can name at least 3 artists that was clearly a lesbian, but now is married to men that look clearly married. And it's okay, but don't play in my face. And that's another, and that's what makes me so mad because the comment sections be like, oh, you went and they're jealous. It's like, who is these people that's just literally just sweating people they don't know? Arguing in the comment section, and you know more about the mother plucker than they do. But even when I say with Fat Joe, Cardi, whoever gave these Gitos, these Hispanics a pass to say the N-word should be slapped. Their ancestors should come back and haunt their ass. Yes. Because even down to that whole energy, even down to Nikki, it's an entitlement that they really think that they're a preference when they don't know a black woman would never, never, would never read with amigo. Hey, stop it. Come here. Come on, because I'm about to cut my thing. Because I think I hit everything. I think I did it. I think I touched on all my topics. Hey, hey. So basically, I'm gonna tweak this software, work on it some more. I actually have some intros I wanted to do, You know, I kid you not. I want to make it cute. Because it take me forever in a day because I'll be like, I don't really want to do this. But why not? It's like a little project that I decided to take on for myself and say, let's see where it goes. You know, learn a little something. If it don't go where I expect, at least it goes, because I don't really don't expect much. I just expect to learn something from it. So I'm going to take this stream to Twitch. Alrighty, that's it. Why is they not letting me in the stream?